Hi, it's Nicole, and today we find ourselves here for a TBR video. I don't tend to do TBR videos for two main reasons. One of them being it's unlikely that I'm going to get to any books that I mention within a reasonable time. I might get to them ages later, years later, who knows. And two, because I find it very difficult to talk about books that I haven't read yet. I think I've mentioned before, but I don't go into books knowing a whole lot. It's similarly to how I go into movies where I don't watch trailers. I just skim a description of what it's about. A few buzzwords are in there, like my personal buzzwords that I respond to, I guess, in there, and I'm like, okay, great, cool. As long as there's nothing in there that seems really off-putting to me, like if I see the phrase multi-generational family saga, that's not, you're gonna work really hard as a book to get me there, you know? No offense to that book, but it's just harder. And anyway, so considering that, and considering that I know very little about any of the books that I'm about to read, I'm going to tell you a description of these books, not based on what they're actually about, but based on what I think they're about. That could be super, super wrong, but if you read the books just based on what I've said they're about, and then I also read the books at some point in the next 10 years maybe, then we can have the same sort of reading experience and be like best bros. So I thought that this could be fun anyway. Also, these books have either come out in 2020 or will be coming out in 2020, like by the end of the year, by the 31st of December, I think. I don't think any of them are winter 2021, but they might be, who knows. I don't look loads at all the details all the time. Sometimes I miss things, you know. Okay, here we go. The first book on my list is At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop, translated by Anna Moschovakis. This book is following a Kenyan, I think, who is in World War II, maybe, and him and his friend, who is also Kenyan, are obviously have to deal with a certain amount of racism and things like that, even amongst their allies who they're helping in this war. And at one point his friend, the main character's friend, is injured quite badly, fatally injured, but he doesn't immediately die, and he begs the protagonist to kill him, but the protagonist is unable to. It's too difficult to do that, but his friend eventually dies, and the protagonist feels horrible about it, and is plagued by it, and he eventually goes perhaps a little mad, and he then starts to go out at night, sneak into the enemy's camp or area, wherever they are, and goes on a killing spree. And then he sneaks back to his side, and he is hailed as a hero, and everybody's like, oh my god, how'd you do that? That's amazing. And then he keeps doing this, and slowly his side starts to be a little bit less like, oh my gosh, you're amazing, and a little bit more like, wow, that's freaking creepy. You're like, whoa, something's wrong with you. And to me that sounds super interesting because it is a very familiar setting of World War II, but with a perspective that is much less known to me. So that kind of mix of familiar and unfamiliar, as well as character development, and just that kind of psychological depth, very interesting to me. On the list. Cool. So I will put a date of when that one is going to be published or has already been published. Next on my list is The Fallen by Carlos Manuel Álvarez, translated by Wynne. This one came up a while ago for me, actually. I saw it a few months ago when we were doing Europa for Indie Press Project, so maybe it came out at that point in the year, I don't really remember. But I was reading 33 Revolutions, which I have a review for, and I'll link that everywhere that is linkable. And this one came up as well, and 33 Revolutions was set in Cuba, about post-Cuban Revolution. This one I think is kind of similar. I really like 33 Revolutions. I am very interested in Cuba for, I guess, cultural, geographic reasons, but also because of political reasons. It's just a really interesting place to me. So that's all I've got for you on that one. It's a real mystery. If the buzzwords of Cuba, Cuban Revolution, Caribbean shenanigans, any of that does anything for you, read it. Next book on the list is the... Why am I looking over here? Oh, because my list is here. Next book on the list is The Decagon House Murders by Yukito Ayatsuji. I don't know if I wrote that right. I can't read my own writing. Translated by Wong. All I registered was Japan, murders, kind of a thriller thing going on. I'm here for it. You know, like creepy house, Japan. Like I'm envisioning sort of like a Agatha Christie meets modern thriller crime drama thing. I could be wrong. We'll see. But you know, that piqued my interest. Then we have Astral Season, Beastly Season by Tahi Saihate, translated by Kailua Almony, unless that's an R, which could be Almari. I think it's Almany. This book came to my attention after Doris mentioned Hansford Star, which is a new press that deals a lot with translated literature from Asia. It's a very new and small press, so they only have a few books. But this one, there are two friends, I think, maybe, and they are really into this J-pop idol, but then the idol gets embroiled in some sort of murder thing. Like everybody thinks that she killed her boyfriend, so then the two protagonists step in to defend her by saying that they killed the boyfriend. I don't know, something like that. I'm just hearing Japan, crime thriller, shenanigans, you know, like I'm here for that. So if you are also interested in any of these books, let me know which ones pique your interest the most and why. Let me know if you looked into any of these and you know what the actual story is. Don't tell me what the actual story is. I'm happy to think what I think right now, but you know, just you can maybe, what do we do? I know, like put a fire emoji if I'm really close to what the story is actually about, and put like a snowflake emoji if I'm really far away from what the story is actually about. That could be fun. I'm really tired. I feel like it'll probably show in this video, and hopefully this won't be a horrible video that's really lame to watch, where it's like watching someone who's delirious talk about stuff that makes no sense, because I want to do justice to these books. But I feel like this is kind of a different approach to things, because I don't see a lot of people doing TBRs in a more relaxed way. I don't know. Because I don't see people approaching TBRs in the way that I do. I see a lot of the time people wanting to be super accurate with, I don't know, the descriptions of what the thing is like and whatever, and I just don't connect to that. Me personally, I like to go in knowing very little, and it's just the snippets that are interesting to me. Like, why did that person pick that thing up? It's not because they remembered the whole like really long description of the thing. It's because these particular buzzwords jumped out at them and they were like, yes, okay, that's on my list. You know what I mean? So hopefully you get that from this, and hopefully it was fun, and hopefully it was enjoyable to watch. And if not, let me know, and I won't. If not, please let me know, and I promise I won't do a video like this again, or I'll do this kind of video but in a way that's more conventional, and if it wasn't helpful, then I want the videos to be helpful, so hopefully in future my videos can be more helpful like that. But I felt like this was the kind of TBR video that I'd be interested in watching, so that's why I decided to go with my gut. But yeah, let me know if it's not working for you, if it's not helpful, if it's not interesting. Okay, see you next time. Bye.